The adage is that good teams win and great teams cover. Well, we saw the second half, and this team isn't great yet. You're listening to Can't Read, Can't Write. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Can't Read, Can't Write, the podcast that proves Spartans can talk. I'm Mike Jones, joined as always by the daddy on the street, Kevin Gregg, and the daddy in the sheets, Alex Plum.
Stupid.
You two are idiots.
Daddy. Who wants to be my daddy?
Oh, how are you guys doing?
I'm tired. Okay, this daddy wants to go night-night. Can someone put this daddy to sleep, please?
Meanwhile,
That
this
second half might
daddy has been all over Spartan Stadium, bringing you all of the concessions updates that if you were not in Spartan Stadium tonight, you might be interested in, and I got them for you right here. So you guys are in charge of understanding the game. I know how much it costs, and I'll take lots on this for a hot dog.
Oh no!
In 2025, take lots.
Yes.
I was going to say $4.50.
The answer is, and I don't know what it was last year, and gluten-free buns are available. $5.99, $6.
$5.99. That's not cool. It's got to be in quarters. You've got to be able to pay with a nice quarter. But you know what they do at $5.99? Because everyone's using card. It's all cashless, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're just
beep up.
There it goes.
If Costco can deliver a hot dog and a soda for the price that they do, then it's a crime.
Everyone wanted third-party concessions, and they got them, and now this is happening. I will hold for now what it costs to get a taco from 517 Taco Company, much less a super slice from Little Caesars. So that's a little teaser.
Do they have personal pan pizzas? Is that an option?
That is not an option. You get the pepperoni or cheese super slice, and we'll talk about the cost, and we'll talk about the Munfield tailgate after.
Can I just ask quickly though, how big is the super slice? What percentage of a large hot and ready is it?
I've only seen the boxes. I have not seen the super slice itself, so I can't tell you.
All right, you've seen a Costco pizza slice though. Mm-hmm. This is going to be my metric for everything.
I have to presume it's at least the same size, if not bigger than the Costco. Slice.
Okay,
that's judging from a box which I saw from the concourse to behind the bar.
So that's $2.50 for a Costco slice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we, of course, want to thank everyone for listening. And if we could ask a small favor, please share the pod with Spartans in your life. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get podcasts. And, of course, follow us on Twitter for now at Spartan_pod and Instagram at Spartan_pod and Blue Sky at SpartanPod. I think, gentlemen, for those who don't know or wondering why we're going right after the game, schedules are a bit wonky this week. And so we're probably just going to dig into the football game and then answer some of your Twitter questions, social media questions, excuse me.
Did we get them that fast?
We did. I put the call out and people answered.
People love to answer.
Okay.
Wow.
So in the time that I was walking back from the stadium, people were like, we have got to take to social media.
What's more alarming is
because they were like me, sitting on the couch for 2 fucking hours waiting for your dumb ass to get back. Lord.
Dude, so I watched football on television last night, Thursday night, for the first time since last year. And jumping in between games, I was astonished at how much time I spent watching commercials. Even jumping in between games, how much time I spent watching commercials. It was crazy. Also, Rutgers, the homiest home treatment I've seen in a long time against our poor friends, the Ohio Bobcats. We should agree
we all got a little home cooking tonight.
Well, we'll get there.
All right. Well, so let's dive into the game. And I think we've got a lot to say that is concerning for where we aspire the program to be. But so let's start maybe on what actually went well and that we can feel maybe a bit of a sigh of relief about. And I'll start. I mean, even on the very first play from the line of scrimmage, the offensive line on run plays got a push. Mekhi Frazier rushed for over 100 yards. We went nearly for 200 on the ground. That's with sack yardage, by the way. Not a bad night, right?
Plum, what do you think?
Okay.
Running the ball. Running
the ball was a great night. This was a great night for running the ball. Yeah.
And I'll say that Eli Tautoliver occupied most of the snaps in the second half, it seemed, and was a subpar back in comparison to Tullis and Frazier.
Mm-hmm.
And we still netted up those yardage numbers.
I think we saw things in the offensive line we've not seen in many years, particularly the capacity to create routes right through the middle. And that was delicious. There were several runs that gave me the tickle.
The tickle. Right in the tickle.
Right there. So yeah, run game. And I will give credit to Aiden Childs. He had some good runs himself. And I appreciated the couple times he tried to run and he flubbed it like a doo-doo. He was like, on me, we're going for fourth. And that was great. Once he got us out of the pickle on the fourth on a long throw, which was great. And then once Jonathan Smith said, no, you're not. Get the fuck off the field. Mm-hmm. So on balance, I appreciated the moxie. So run game.
So he's got 10 attempts in the box score. How many of those do you think were called attempts? Or ones that he called his own number?
I think maybe 3 or 4.
Okay.
It was a little bit more than I expected. I felt like he ran more than I expected. Mm-hmm. One of those was one of those was an option, not in a sort of pitch option, but it was a read option, and I think he held it. He shouldn't have, but at the same time, it would have been blown up for Tullis the other way too. Mm-hmm. But like he shouldn't have held it because you'd rather Tullis take the hit than your quarterback. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, would be that's a minor critique of the critiques I've got of Aiden Childs' game today. But would you agree 3 or 4 seems right?
So when you're the man on the street in Spartan Stadium and you're spending a lot of time on the concourse and you're getting yourself your North Peaks Spartas and
so Amari Kelly. So you didn't watch, is what you're telling me.
I didn't soak in every minute of the game, is what I'm saying.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Well, then let's talk about Amari Kelly. I think was as advertised.
100%.
To the point that I don't know if it's that Nick Marsh was number 1 on the scouting report, and so it just like maybe this was a game that ends up net benefiting the both of them because Omari Kelly was inevitably going to have a game like this because of Nick Marsh. But like he felt like wide receiver 1, and I'm not sure that he is wide receiver 1, which is a good thing, right? Like we should be happy about that.
Yeah. That kind of goes to why the coaching staff was a little bit excited about the wide receiver core. If they can throw everything at Nick Marsh and you've got another option after that, that's a good place to be.
Yeah. And
Mark Kelly kind of proved that maybe there's other viable options on this team for the year.
Yeah. I know we kind of touched on rushing, at least from the offensive line perspective, in terms of the push and the holes. But the vision did seem better out of Tullis and Frazier than I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe the holes were that large, but for 2, I believe, redshirt freshmen, I don't think their red shirts were burned last year. That was a pleasant surprise. That was seeing them run the ball with the offensive line push said to me, that was when I thought maybe we could be okay. Like maybe we could be okay this year. Mm-hmm. Like, good, even not great, good. But and then I think we got to talk about the other side of the ball. Defense pitched to shutout. Actually, defense scored 2 points and pitched to shutout.
That's true.
Yes.
Credit to
the
the
2
defense.
points. Yes, the 2 points is essential to talk about. Go ahead.
No, please.
I mean, that was huge. Like, we haven't seen that from this team in a while. Like,
and they almost had another one.
Yeah,
they did actually.
It's been since the D'Antonio era that I've seen this team be like, let's go get that safety. Let's do this.
And can we just give a quick shout out to the special teams who twice forced Western into that position? I thought
Ryan
yeah. I mean, I was very, very, very impressed with our ability, the accuracy, getting downfield. I mean, there was a couple times where he held the punt for just the extra beat to give the guys enough lead time that the camera started to pan and was like, oh yeah, now we can go. You know, like he beat the camera. So I just thought that was good because you're just not expecting that, but that's field vision, that's understanding context, that's knowing that you have that extra couple seconds, which of course is much more than we can say for Aiden Childs, who's still unable to read the field. But we'll talk about that. So anyway. My compliments, doff of the cap to special teams. I was very impressed with what I saw.
Eckley, who I don't know the last time he did any level of place kicking, was
unfair.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to hold zero against him. The fact that he was smiling and laughing when he whiffed that field goal tells me everything I need to know about that situation.
But guess what? He went the distance. He had the distance. I'll give him that. That's pretty good.
But I believe how many kickoffs? What did he have? 4 kickoffs in this game, and 2 of them went out the end zone. At least 3 for the scores, and then 1 for the start of the half. So 4.
Yeah,
4 kickoffs for 258 total yards and 2 touchbacks.
I mean, 2 touchbacks is nothing to sneeze at.
Agreed.
And then I guess if we're gonna this is a very minor thing to shout out, but. I believe it's Samson Gash is his name. Gash is the last name, but I believe it's Samson. On those 2 kickoffs that were returned, delivered huge hits on both of them on special teams. So, I believe Gash is a freshman or a redshirt freshman. You want special teams contributors, that's a big deal. So, great game out of that guy, but. I mean, there were things to be happy about, and yet
you're referencing in this case the one Jack Velling reception for 3 yards. That's what you're happy about, right?
Masunis had a great game. I believe 2 receptions.
2 receptions for 22.
Yeah, Masunis had a nice game. But the second half was. 4 punts, a pick 6, and victory formation?
Sounds right.
Woof. I don't know what to make of that.
I think crazy people will go back and look at the lines and look at rotations and do those types of things to ask, is this a product of putting the reserves out? I don't know that question or the answer to it. No,
it's not.
I'm getting a nod.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, maybe Tout Tolliver, that would be the one thing I'd say is that Frazier and Tullis had a very successful first half rushing the ball, and there were a lot of Tout Tolliver. They did
seem to separate themselves, and then Tout Tolliver kind of came in
and was a turd
and did not. 8 attempts for 24 yards.
Yeah.
Net of 17. Average 2.1 yards.
Yeah.
In an area where there's a lot of talent, you're going to have guys that are going to have better nights than others. And you can't give on a night when the pass this rushing was not bad, good even.
Wait. I'm sorry, who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
You fucking asked me to focus on the good right now. Okay, that's what
I
I'm
pivoted
doing.
to the bad.
Who's out here wearing an Alex Plum skin suit? And just
it's Arya Stark.
Who are you? No, that's very generous of you, Alex. It's fair. And Tout, however, I don't believe got any snaps until the second half, which is a tough spot to be in.
Go. let's do it. Let's do it then. Let's just talk about the quarterback.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. But that's fine. But I want to start with the quarterback because he's the leader of the program, leader of the team.
Yep.
And let's point out, paid the most.
Yeah.
Truly, literally paid the most.
I don't ever want to see, I'm just going to start with, I never want to see a quarterback in the second half, after the 6th or 7th fucking time he's overthrown his receiver, pointing at himself like, my bad. Yes, motherfucker. Everyone knows it's your bad. We don't need the acknowledgement. To be acknowledging it on the 7th is to suggest that the first 6 weren't your fault. And I understand some of these overthrows were, guys not quite getting the route right or not quite getting to where but there is a certain pattern and consistency that would be admirable if it were accurate. And unfortunately, it wasn't. So that's a problem. But I think for me, what the problem is, and this is what we talked about, or at least what I talked about 2 weeks ago, was the improvement we were going to see in Childs. And I think what I suggested would happen has come true. What we're seeing is a growth from poor to mediocre. And that's where he is now. We've not gone beyond, and maybe he's mediocre plus, but he's not even in the realm of like good. It's certainly not very good or anywhere near beyond that. So
plus player.
And this is a mediocre plus player for a program like this. Like, this is no doubt why we rushed so fucking much, because I don't know what to say. And if that's the performance against Western, I also want to talk about the pocket protection. That'll come in a moment too, but because that's not completely on him. But oof, those are some things they've got to fucking tighten up.
I will say, looking at his stat line, Plum, because I'm with you, the second half was unimpressive out of Childs.
And I do want to reserve that I am only talking about the second half.
Yeah, and so I was with you, but I'm revisiting.
Okay.
As we're speaking right now.
Fair.
Because I'm looking at his stat line. He went for 17 for 23, 73.9%.
If you just look at completion percentage, it looks very good.
Sure.
Yeah, and Plum, you were right to call out, to be very clear, that on many downfield shots, his touch was off.
Nowhere.
And his stat line could be looking insane right now if he'd even connected on 2 of those.
But my point is, you're playing a MAC team and the season opener after you've had nothing but practice, nothing but ice baths and massage.
Yep.
This is it. And like, this is what I mean. Like, this is what we have. This is the guy that we have. There's going to be a little fine tuning, but there's not going to be much. And so if we're talking about depth in the Big Ten in a season when we don't have Oregon or Ohio State.
Yeah.
But fuck us. So Aiden Childs, my Lord and my God, please. He's a senior. Please tell me he's a senior.
This is his junior year.
This is his last year as our quarterback. I mean, I can almost fucking promise you that, because this was the year to gain. There is no more. I don't care what anyone, and you can light me up, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm not going to be. This was the year to gain. There will not be anything better than minorly incremental progress if he comes back. So I recognize this one New Glarus has probably gone right to my New Glarus. Spotted
this is
cow.
Your one? We didn't imbibe during the game.
I didn't want to get.
You wanted to be dialed in.
I wanted to be dialed in.
You did. That's your commitment to the game.
I was wrong. I want to be explicit. I was wrong. Okay. I made my point.
Well,
Jonesy, you also did not imbibe during the game, correct? You also withheld.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Which is what he always does in games.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
I definitely wasn't on a long drive, stuck in traffic, and not needing alcohol in a way that I couldn't fully understand.
Okay, that's even worse than being like, no, I just poured it down my gullet for 4 straight hours. Jonesing for it in traffic in Delaware is so much worse than that.
Well, I knew you were tailgating, and I wanted to also be tailgating for the game.
Can I just say, and you have the car for it. I've just never forgotten how your vehicle has the built-in cooler in the trunk. That's just really fucking something.
I've never used it.
Well,
there's nothing I want to do more in life than use that cooler.
Youngstown State, my friend.
Traeger up to the electrical jack on the truck as well.
Traeger.
I could smoke something and be pulling beers out of the trunk.
Let's put a button on this.
All right.
So the two of you actually got to watch the whole game end to end while I was going from concession to concession. How are you feeling about this season at this point? After you answer that question, I'm going to give you the context of what other Big Ten teams have done against MAC teams so far this season. So continue.
Well, that's not... Western is in a kind of league of its own as it comes to the MAC. I think we can largely agree. I mean, the Western
other
football
teams
program...
that we're talking about are Ohio and Rutgers and Miami of Ohio. Do you want to talk about the football powerhouse Miami of Ohio?
But that's my point. I mean, I think Western is kind of consistently up there in the MAC, isn't it?
I agree. I agree with, if that's what you're saying. I think Western is a more formidable MAC opponent than Ohio, Buffalo, or Miami of Ohio.
Or Eastern or Central or Kent State. I mean, on and on and on.
But give me your assessment of this team, and then we'll talk about the wider...
Okay, I'll just say, if we get to 7 wins, that will be a blessed event. Blessed.
Jonesy.
I think this is a we talked about adages in the cold open. The adage about the biggest improvement is between week 1 and week 2. Great news. A lot of the messy stuff that you normally see, like pre-snap penalties or something like that, wasn't really a problem for this team.
Cleaned up.
So maybe you can be optimistic that some of the stuff like timing, route recognition, right, like that stuff can be cleaned up week 1 to week 2. I will say that this is the first time that I saw a push out of our offensive line. And I don't care that it was we talked, and I was consistent about this. The idea that the front was going to be able to maul happened. I do where I was going with Plum earlier about sort of revising my take is that I do think Tau Tolliver is not meaningfully in the rotation any longer.
Okay,
I that might have been the difference between a successful second half versus not.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Like having 2 backs in the rotation is good to begin with. So the bad news is we're not going to know how the Boston College Eagles do against the Fordham Rams for another couple of days.
The FCS Fordham Rams?
Yes. But for other MAC opponents, for Big Ten opponents, Minnesota defeats Buffalo yesterday by 13 points, which I don't believe covered the spread. Miami of Ohio was blanked by Fick. Do we know anything about Luke Fickell? Have we ever talked about him on this podcast? I don't think so. I think this is his first mention. Wisconsin beat them at home 17-0. So 17-point.
They only put 17 on Miami of Ohio.
Correct. And then the big one,
Wisconsin.
I got to watch, and let me tell you, Rutgers got some home cooking in this one down the stretch. Rutgers pulled away from the Ohio Bobcats to win 34-31. There was a play where the Rutgers quarterback definitely did not advance the ball past the line of scrimmage. So there should have been a grounding penalty that was called. But then some phantom holding in the secondary was called instead, and they were able to get an automatic first down, and they were able to extend the game and ultimately win it. But
did they call that? Did they even call? I mean, that's crazy because in soccer, and I know this is no one cares, we would not call a foul that far off ball in a way that couldn't impact the play.
That did not impact the game
Just would
in
not get
any
called.
meaningful way.
The one thing I will say though is a lot of times they're not sending their best when it comes to the refereeing in the non-con games, right? These guys are often getting evaluated for promotion, and I bet that.
Could it also be? Am I, without being Joe Rogan over here, am I allowed to also be like?
Our podcast isn't long enough.
Yes. And we have too many jokes. This is too funny a podcast to be Joe Rogan.
Sure. You're getting political. I don't like it when you get to political.
This is an empirical statement.
Right.
There are no jokes in a 4-hour Joe Rogan podcast.
That's awesome.
You can believe whatever you want from him, but nothing is funny. If I'm starting to believe that like the Big Ten needs to win, who cares about Miami of Ohio? Like, let's call some garbage call and let's extend this play and let's give them a little.
Why not? Why not? You could be right. Who knows?
So little matters in college sports anymore that I'm starting to like. I always thought that home cooking was funny. I always thought the Spartan Bob was funny. I saw that happen and I was like, of course. Why not?
Where are you on vaccinations? Out of curiosity.
Now that's getting too political. I draw the line
and
make America healthy again.
Question.
Joe Rogan is one thing. But does this make you feel better to know that Rutgers survives at home and needs some help to do it against Ohio? Minnesota doesn't exactly blow Buffalo out of the water, and Wisconsin puts up a very underwhelming result against Miami of Ohio. Does that make you feel any better about the game that we just played against Western?
The thing that I'm frustrated by is that this team should have scored in the 30s.
Yeah.
Like it is impossible to watch that first half. Now, I will say that in the final 2 to 4 minutes of that half, like if we're looking at it sort of in the way that you think about basketball in terms of minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to probably talk about the protection here in a second. The tide started to turn on our friends on the offensive line. But, you know, I guess it makes me feel a little bit better that everyone's kind of shit the first. And when's the last time that MSU scored more than 30 points in an opener? I think it's been a minute.
I don't have that information.
It might be since the D'Antonio heyday. And even then, actually, they put up some stinkers week 1.
Yes, that's true. I remember the Rose Bowl season. The offense was awful. The defense might have scored more points in the opener or something. I believe
like that. Against Western, right?
Yeah.
I think the offense put up like 10 points or something like that.
Yeah. But this is not that team.
No, but I will say again, the defense was even when they got hit for yards, there was a dude step for step. Like, I mean, that first play, Josh Eaton, was in coverage, and I think there was a 20-yard-ish shot that got completed. It was a really good throw. Like, it was one of those things. Is like, cornerback's right there, and it's like sometimes the quarterback throws the ball somewhere that he can't defend.
So going back, Jonesy, and your question, last year defeated Florida Atlantic in the opener 16-10, but the year before that defeated Central. Maybe something was happening in that game. I don't remember. 31-7.
Okay. Okay.
And then the year before that, 1 second, Western Michigan 35-13.
All right, so we've been scoring in the 30s more often than I thought. Okay. Well,
anyway,
can we talk about the protection really quick?
Yeah, talk about the protection, then let's start taking Twitter questions.
Yeah, it's a thing. The I think we can just move on to Twitter questions because we've got some about it, and I pulled up some stats on this. So let's just get into those. So first up is Mama's Mercantile. If you've not eaten there, you're an idiot. It's off of Clear Lake Road exit in Grass Lake, Michigan. It's
don't be a goofus.
Just
don't be a goofus.
Just fucking go.
Yeah.
Mama's Mercantile.
Dumbass.
Mamasmerc.com. Yeah, seriously, don't be a fucking idiot. Like, just go. You can do menus, online ordering, and more. Our listeners have been there and they love it. You can mention Can't Read, Can't Write and get 10% off of your order. Mamasmerc.com. Check it out.
And that includes the beers, which have $3 options that become $2.70 options for you, dear listener.
Where are you going to get that?
Go find that somewhere else. It doesn't happen at Spartan Stadium. That's for sure. That is for sure.
Oh, Greg, do you want to hit us with one of your trivia
questions? Yeah. Okay, so take your lots. The Little Caesars Super Slice, pepperoni or cheese, they're the same price.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
take your lots.
$10.75.
Jonesy?
I'm going to go 11.
Oh, Plum. So good. $10.49. You were within 26 cents. When you put that number out there, I had to mask myself. Go on YouTube and watch my reactions to be like, oh, he's so close. He's within a quarter, basically. Oh, so good. What about 517 Taco? So 517 Taco has a veggie-based taco and a chicken taco and a pork taco. They're all the same price. It doesn't say anything about quantity. It just says taco. It's not clear if this is one or
8.
Many. Give me your guess
8.
on that.
Oh no. 8
for Jonesy. 8 for Jonesy.
It's a taco. I'm gonna say $6.99.
$12.49.
Oh wow.
$12.49.
Yeah,
I have to
make sense because it's more than the pizza because it's special.
I think this has to be more than one taco.
It's gotta
be 3 tacos.
It's gotta be 3, or it's a big taco.
And then the On the Banks barbecue, pulled pork, buffalo, or brisket sandwich. They're all within $1. What are you paying for that?
$13.49.
I was $13.49.
It's $11 to $12.49. You guys are good with the nines. Good with the nines. Well done.
I found myself revising it. At first I was more expensive too often.
I thought,
and I revised. I was
you went down.
Coast,
you went back up.
And then I started questioning. I got in my head.
So I also went to the 517 tailgate on Munfield.
Yeah.
And interesting thing about the 517 tailgate, it was way better attended, the tailgate, than the parking was. So I think the parking might be premium. It's not clear.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone that gets J-Bat on their podcast about how he is parking. And
he had other guests that week, by the way.
Mm-hmm,
just saying.
Other guests. That's right. That's right.
Who were better.
Yeah, J-Bat, we will not be missing him on this podcast.
So I think people are still catching on to the premium parking options there. But the beer garden was very well attended. I don't know that this is sustainable. I don't know how much of this is this is brand new this week, we're going to come over here, because the critical mass of the cars weren't there.
Yeah, because there's no parking right on the grass. It's just
there is no.
Oh,
that's all part of this.
Oh, it's back.
There is now.
Yes. Okay.
So I don't know where this is going to go, and I'll continue to be the man on the street in East Lansing. But
thank you for your service.
The 517 tailgate seemed to be a hit so far.
All right.
And the prices were kind of similar to what we're talking about here. So the university, and it was confirmed to me that this is a J-Bat joint. This is not a Jay just comes in and soaks up this was already in progress. Yeah. This was, he came in, he had listening sessions, and he made this happen. So
Well,
Pretty good.
according to the social media feeds, Tom Izzo has been a big fan of the Mun experience and has been.
Because he can roll out of his office.
Duh. And he did and has. I mean, every fucking, well, you would know this, Michael, but every Izzone camp out, that's all he did. So.
Just pounding beers over there.
I know where it's at.
I know where it's. You do. All right. First up tonight, Mike Jones, our intrepid friend. Oh, it might be time for another delivery. I know we all have not gotten through all of the numbers he gave us yesteryear.
We should have a number right now. That's our fault.
Yeah,
we should
that
be
is our
having
fault.
one of those.
Our bad.
Sorry, listener Mike Jones.
Was J-Bat there with you today?
Our J-Bad. Okay, Mike Jones.
How were your seats? Kevin?
They were really good. I was able to see all of the concessions.
Shit.
In the stadium.
That's interesting because you talked about going down to the concourse.
Oh,
from the upper deck. So Mike Jones says, running game looks solid, but how much can we take from that game? It seemed like a very vanilla playbook. Jonesy, you're very interested in things right now. Tell us about that.
I would say that here's the. I think we've got other complaints about the playbook coming up, and I would just say that anyone who's got thoughts or complaints about the playbook should, generally speaking, kind of shove it. It's a MAC school. You shouldn't need to roll out the playbook for this. Like, you should just be able to win. You're bigger, faster, and stronger. And actually, the most disappointing thing was that in the second half, that didn't come to bear. So, yeah, Mike Jones, I would agree that it was, generally speaking, a pretty vanilla playbook, as it should have been. And I think you can take from that in some instances, Western had people that were not smaller, slower, weaker than us.
Yep.
And that is an interesting bit of rub.
Tell me about the rub. Next up from Verbose Dutch, how concerned should we be about the OTs?
Highly. I believe I texted you guys something to the effect of teenage pregnancy. That was how effective this protection was. We would be not in a good way, and Dad would be pissed. So, yeah. I
believe Stanton Rammel got pulled at one point in time, and Connor Moore got moved over to the left-hand side, which also was not fair to Connor Moore, because it's like...
Well, Stanton Rammel did get pulled, and the camera was actually just picking it up. Jonathan Smith had just pulled the man's pants down and was spanking him. Bad baby. Bad baby.
This was a South Park situation. Stanton Rammel was shown to be like a Trump South Park. I'm getting very political.
Very political. Political.
Interesting.
I think this is because of our comments.
What I got, I mean, so some of it was just stupid shit. I mean, like the one fumble, it wasn't an interception, but the one, fumble that he had was because of
So I actually missed that one. Did he not?
It was Tullis. No, it was Tullis. Tullis didn't pick up a
block.
No, when they
a blitz.
A blitz. Fuck me.
Yeah.
A blitz. It was Tullis. I mean, that's not even on the tackles, really. But I mean, it was.
But I'm just curious: was it a blindside hit, or should Childs have tucked and like?
Yeah, no. Well, let's talk about that, because that's actually the bigger thing here. To me, it felt like, does this kid have cataracts? Is he in a blinder? Is he have panic? Is it anxiety? Like, what's going on?
Verbose Dutch's next question is Childs going to be turnover prone? So continue.
Well, he didn't do it with the throws, and maybe we got lucky because it's Western. Or he just said, "Oh God, not me."
Pick six, was that his fault?
Make it Alessio. Make it Alessio. Poor Alessio.
Which I texted you guys this.
Poor Alessio.
Alessio on his career is 0 for 2.
It was
with 2 interceptions.
It was a very good text.
Both throws are interceptions in his career.
And you wanted to tweet it, but you knew better, and I'm proud of you for that. But I think that's what we have to talk about here, because I don't know if he's turnover prone, but I think he's going to be sack fucking prone if he can't fucking widen the aperture.
Took 4 of them. 4 of them, I believe. Oof. Let me go over here.
I will say at
4.
least one of those was on him completely. maybe 2. He's not scrambling. And then I guess the one he should have scrambled on, the one I'm thinking of, was maybe the 4th. He just took it. I mean, he's just standing there and he's looking straight ahead, and the guy is coming from sort of diagonally out. There's just no way that's not your field of vision unless you are fully fucking committed. And 23-0 in the second half. I know it's been a bad half, but that to me is because you're sleeping. You can't be so tunnel visioned at that point that you're like so neurotic that you can't see. Ugh, that's deeply, deeply distressing to me. That's on him completely.
Yeah. All right. Well, to follow up on this a little bit, Upper Deck Jerk Guy asks, what the hell happened in that locker room at halftime? I think we've kind of addressed this, but
I hope it's Fat and Sassy.
Like popsicles.
Yeah,
I got fucking popsicles. You guys are my favorite. I fucking love you guys. You can't do nothing wrong. Oh, that's it.
Is that Jonathan Smith?
Yeah,
that's the Oregon accent.
He's from fucking Kentucky, I guess. Now I don't know.
Football teams talk a lot about the standard and playing to the standard.
Oh, fuck.
And it seems to me that anyone who talks about that tends to be, there's a loser mentality with that. I don't know why. Like, because Mel Tucker talked about that a lot. But the Smith team has talked about it too, that we're going to play to our standard, and yet somehow it disappears. Because if you're playing to your standard, then the gas should never be off.
All gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
This gets to the searches question. Ali, good to hear from you, bud. Akron 4.0? Question mark. Jonesy, you hang your hat on Akron and your call on that Akron game. You took it to some other podcast, that whole call. Some kind of, if it's not Jay Bad, it's you talking about Akron.
Wow.
But you're not hanging your hat again. You're not making the same call as a result.
No, because we saw success out of this offensive line. Like, this wasn't that Akron game. This was an FAU last year, which was also, I mean, you called the score out 16-10, right. But like,
that was bellwether.
Rough.
This team is better than those teams.
Well, you are not alone. Ali's second question is, seriously though, am I an idiot for not taking too much from the second half offensive performance? Plum.
Yeah, no, probably not. I mean, listen, if anyone is known to catastrophize, it is for sure yours truly. So I'll take the hit, and that's fine. But I just don't think. I mean, but I'll stand by it. I mean, I'm going to stand by my take.
I don't think you should take the hit. It speaks to focus.
No, let me take the hit just like Childs did in the pocket 4 times. I think that's maybe my point. There's just not enough for me. I mean, all I'm saying is I don't compare us to anyone else but ourselves. And I think that in the spring and the summer and in the first fucking game, all you have to compare yourself is you. And looking at Aiden Childs today, compared to a year ago, there is absolutely some improvement. It is incremental. And so if we were hoping to see some fucking glow up from the guy, ain't happened. And so when I read shit like, and I love Graham, but when I see shit like, we got some things to tinker with, we got to kind of, we got to clean some shit. There's no fucking cleaning anything up. What the fuck are you talking? You've had months. That's it. Now we just know. So now we're just going to get what we get. This cleaning shit up during the season, it doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
I would love to see the statistic that shows that we're going to see this gaslighting improvement. So it isn't going to happen. And that's fine. This is what we have. And it is better than last year. And I am happy about that. But we were talking 9 wins. Fuck me.
And this has been confirmed to us by players in the past. Like, the season is a time where you play the team that you have, and individuals are not getting meaningfully better from game to game. You're tweaking around the edges, and you're trying to, like, there's not going to be some big break that happens.
No.
Yeah, confession. I was hoping that Alessio lit the world on fire, because that's where I was on Childs in that particular moment.
Yeah. And this is where Ron Howard comes in and says, he did not.
That was great. That was well done.
It's been a while since I've listened to Arrested Development, but I think I got the ditty.
Ditty.
Next from Joe Ashworth, when is the last time the pod gave a really solid first half effort and put together what felt like an A- work only to fall apart miserably in the second half and ruin any fleeting delusion of its own competence?
I feel like we're normally better in the second half
I was
than
going
we're.
to say, Joe, I think you would
Never
agree with
before,
us.
Joe. Never before.
The fleeting, the shit show is the first half, and then we kind of pull it together and make it happen on the back half. And then he adds, "What's alcohol involved?"
Yeah,
inevitably.
Does anyone have something to crack?
Not at the stadium, though.
Yeah, I do.
Not at the stadium.
There we go. Jonesy.
All right,
yeah, crack it up.
I'm sorry.
Next up from Ryan Aoki.
Greg, sorry, what are you holding there?
Yeah, what is
I've
that?
got a North Peak Sparta.
Oh, where'd you get that from?
It's lovely.
Yeah,
I got it from a receptacle.
Sorry, what?
A receptacle. Ryan Aoki
Does that start with a P?
Are the offensive line and play calling going to be a lot better by next week? The answer is no.
Yeah, way better, Ryan. No, totally. And by the way, I have a bridge I want to talk to you about. It's made of stones, cobblestones.
Ryan, you should make an investment in this bridge.
It is a covered bridge, Ryan. But don't worry, this whole season, we're going to tinker around the edges. It's all going to get better.
Also, I believe Ryan's a first-time questioner, so thank you, Ryan.
Sorry, Ryan. Us. Yeah, we love
Ryan,
you. We love you, buddy.
Thank you for joining us, but
what, this? I'm not the one. All right, next up, Outdoor Gas Man. I hope, and I haven't read the question yet, but I hope that Outdoor Gas Man is a reference. Like, this is the man whose job it was to fill up the buses at the outdoor gas pumps next to the stadium. He was the outdoor gas man. He's out of work. So we should be gentle and have sympathy for outdoor gas man. Question 1, which implies a question 2, and I only see 1, so let's deal with it.
I just double checked to see if there was one there. There's not.
Let's deal with it. Question 1. Is it too late to switch allegiances? This team has been hard to watch for a decade now.
Decade is exaggerating.
You're forgetting Kenneth Walker. Let's not forget Kenneth Walker.
That season was fun, and we were here for it.
We were here for it.
Outdoor Gas Man, go back and listen to those episodes. They were a good time.
I should listen to those episodes.
Yeah.
I could
We
use
should
that.
all take a moment to listen to those episodes.
They were playing promos for the NFL slate, and Kenneth Walker was in one of the clips.
Yeah.
I was like, that is the best player I've ever seen with the green and white. Like,
with all due respect to our friend,
apparently,
let's lift it up to Drew Stanton.
Yeah, respected DS.
But he is the best.
Yeah.
There's
someone watching the game with me said that the first half rushing yardage was the most that MSU had received in, I forget how many years, but it was inclusive of the Kenneth Walker.
Oh shit!
And I was like, that can't be possible.
First half, that might be. First half, it might be.
And that includes that Northwestern game where
that's what I said on that first play. The very first play from
like 100 yards
off a 75-yard line. I'm like, no, this isn't real.
Who knows? All right, next up, Sawyer like Tom, Michael. If the marching band were to put out an album of music, would members have NIL standing to get a cut of the proceeds? You're a recovering attorney. You should be able to answer this question.
I mean, what do you mean by album of music?
Oh Lord, this is why you can't ask fucking lawyers anything.
Yeah,
this is why
I mean, what
is anyone just because you put out an album doesn't mean that anyone's paying for it? Like, what do you mean by
it's implied? Like, it's implied in the question.
Standing for it? Like, sure. Fine. Here's what I know is that if you put out an album, if you're Taylor Swift and you put it on an album and it goes up on Apple Music, you're getting a fraction of a penny for every play. So, like, sure, divide that by how many jabronis are marching around in those god awful uniforms. Like, what do you mean to say like you're getting proceeds? Truly.
Well, this takes Sawyer like Tom to the follow-up question. Should football ticket sales also go to the College of Music and whoever's in charge of cheer/dance? The band is a pretty sizable part of the atmosphere of a college game day, yet they aren't getting the benefits of that huge pot of money like the football team.
I assure you, no one's in that fucking stadium for the marching band.
Like,
No, stop. If
last season, any game I went to last season was absolutely to listen to the.
That's why you bought the tickets?
Absolutely. You know how much joy I get of the opening fucking kickoff bullshit ceremony and pageantry and all of that? It was not to watch us absolutely choke on the chode. No.
I'm sorry, Alex. So you could have gone over to the Dem Field to watch them practice instead for free?
It's different. It's different in the game.
Nope. I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit on this.
It's different.
Let me really put this to bed. All of this is driven by television revenue.
Good.
Dear Sawyer Like Tom, when's the last time the band was meaningfully shown on TV? It was during the Rose Bowl parade in 2014.
That's not true, Kevin. Sometimes in a little highlight clip, they show the drum line.
Today, when we got the safety, if it went right to the band and they were scrambling to get their sousaphones on and get fucking going with the ragtime.
That could be extended to any little like clip that they show of the crowd. Should those people get NIL?
No. This is a good question.
Actually, this is a good question. Plum, the DJ was really fantastic. It seemed like the stadium atmosphere was upgraded. Should the artists whose songs were played get subsequent royalties?
This is where I gotta stop you. If we're going to say something nice about Tunes by T, I have to.
He's out. Yeah, he's out. I knew that was going to happen. What I will say is, if we're doing profit sharing, whoever's putting the questions up, the trivia questions from a couple seasons ago, they should be getting something. That's who I want rewarded with money.
And you know what?
That guy.
I think we should show our history bona fides if we're going to do something like that. I think we should just really show that this is a land grant institution that's committed to the history of the planet and the things that are most relevant that have happened there.
I like it.
Sort of like Tom, the band's nice, but it does not move the needle for anything revenue.
Asked and answered. Very good.
Next up from Powdered Toast Man. What is the issue with the second half on offense? Tinkering with players, getting lazy with the lead, bad play calling. What do you guys think? I'm
going to go with getting lazy with the lead. That's my hope.
That truly, that is the hope. That's absolutely right.
That's the hope. That's if it's not that, then I don't fucking know what it is.
Yeah, we're in trouble.
And it's disconcerting, disquieting even.
Ooh,
disquieting. Next up from Momopoly, Graham Couch says, quote, "One, that was an intriguing start from MSU's offensive line and running backs. Is intriguing the word that you would use?"
No,
Graham's it isn't.
Editor was asleep, clearly. Graham, intriguing? What does it even mean?
I would allow inspiring from the first half. I would go with inspiring.
Yeah,
I was inspired by what I saw in the first half.
It was
Momopoly
intriguing in the second half. That was intriguing.
That was intriguing.
I'm curious about what the fuck happened there.
Intrigued. Good. Very good.
Well, Momopoly wants a follow-up on what we didn't get to talk about last week. Would your airport stopover visit the other morning be considered intriguing or just plain fun? Tell us about it, gents.
We had a good time.
Yeah, we did. It was intriguing when Plum said, "I want to take you to a tunnel." That was intriguing. And then when he brought me...
Were there little taps under a bathroom stall?
Oh, yeah, there were taps. Lindsey Graham was over there. Yes, he was. With all those ladybugs.
Lady J.
And then Plum brought me a cappuccino from the Delta Lounge. Which is the closest place I'll get to status.
We met at the fountain. I was like, meet me at the fountain. Michael's flight got in early, so all of the worry around delays, notwithstanding, he got in early, and I was stuck in the fucking pre-check line. I should have.
Dude, it does seem like at that terminal, just pre-checks
not
great,
worth it.
But there at that terminal, just walk through the regular security line.
And you know what the secret is too? You go to the have them drop you off at departures. Well, the hotel's a good one if you can get through it, but you get off at arrivals, not departures. And the second level, and then there's that much shorter line, and you can usually breeze through that one. So if you're fine with taking your shoes off.
as a pre-check guy, I often get banished down to the basement where they'll be like, go down there. And there's like an escalator that's like goes down 2 flights of stairs. Then you got to go through this whole international area.
Yeah.
It
the whole
really
thing.
seems like
just better. Just be a person. One of the plebs.
Just be one of the regulars.
Shut up.
The elites here.
Shut your mouth.
This is for
international
us
entry
to discuss.
Whatever.
This is not
global
really...
entry. Global entry is worth it. If you've ever stood in fucking line at Fort Lauderdale trying to get in from a different country, murder yourself, because there are 4 customs officials. 2 of them are. I'm gonna save my remarks, but 2 are not working.
Completely agree.
And it can take an hour and a half. Like it's bad.
I had someone I know who was talking to me about global entry, and he was saying that they just had a newborn, and he almost got arrested because he was in the global entry line with his newborn, and they were like, that's not someone who's eligible for global entry.
Whoever could care about that. Good. I actually am on board with the man in that case. Newborns. Ugh. Next up from...
Wait, hold on a second. Before we go to the next question, because I'm going to forget to do this because I wasn't on last week, but I promised my buddy, my good friend Adam, a happy birthday shout out on the pod. All of us, his friends, we have a high school group chat. All of us, his friends.
All of us, his
not
friends.
Excluding you 2 jabronis, but all of us, his friends, have a group chat from high school, and nary a one wished him a happy birthday on the day. And so we're awful, and I want to just apologize wholeheartedly. And then he texted me this week, and he said, thanks for the not giving me a shout out on last week's pod, which of course I was not on. So that's a double oops, and we haven't forgotten about you. But sad to say, he and his wife will not be joining me at the Youngstown State game. They were my other 2 tickets, so might be putting a raffle together. Might be raffling off 2 seats at Youngstown State. Stay tuned.
Adam, for whatever it's worth, I believe that at around 7:54 p.m. on my birthday, I got a text from Greg in our group chat that just said "birthday!" ! And then Plum said yes.
That could have been anyone's birthday.
Yeah,
you can assume that it was yours, but it could just be the concept of
it was just a noun.
Like, look, my birthday's on a fucking holiday that
federal holiday.
It's not really missable. So anyway, moving on. You've just Adam, you've chosen a shitty friend. Is really what it is.
He knows that. He knows that. Yeah, he already knows that.
Speaking of Youngstown State, Mr. Nordic Pants, I believe, is going to Youngstown State. Asking, are we capable of holding 2 separate truths in our minds? Yes, MSU offense showed signs of improvement. No, it's not enough to do well in the Big 18.
Just Big 18 makes me giggle.
It's too nuanced for this podcast.
Rick, I think you kind of punched a hole on this, right? Like, you were talking about what the other Big 10 teams did that are also sort of slotted.
He just named Minnesota and Butgers. I mean, honestly, if we're not doing better than them,
I believe they're both have 7.5 win totals for the season.
Minnesota is a team that we have to beat this year.
Is there a Big 10 team that doesn't have a 7.5 win total?
Us. And
lower
UCLA.
And UCLA. Oh.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's bad.
Thank you for calling it UCLA. That's something that
that's gotta be a thing. We gotta keep that.
I'm gonna have to deal with that. That's a great question, though, Mr. Ronic Pants. Next up, were you annoyed by MSU's prepubescent long kicker laughing off missing a field goal?
No. We were not annoyed at that. This is not his
Ray Guy nominee, Ryan Eckley. Like, no, I'm sorry.
That's not his job. Not his job. And every one of those fucking kickers who's injured because their groins are sore, you know how I feel about injured players. Okay? You take them out behind the barn and you fucking take away their scholarship. And that is
I want to know how they got their groins injured.
It's just stupid. It's just
right?
stupid.
I do. I do, because I think that should be public knowledge, because if there's any modicum of shame in that, then that
they deserve it.
Consumable by everybody.
So wait, let's go back to let's really dwell on this. If we had a media pass, and Jonathan Smith gets through his like 5 minutes of coaching speak, and then he's like, all right, the SID, this idea is like, all right, questions for Coach Smith. You raise your hand, you're like,
Mike Jones can't read, can't write. What happened to the grundle of the young men? Can you just what happened?
I want it to be worse. How did it happen to both of them?
Yeah, how were they doing something together?
Tell me about these boys' groins.
Can you walk me through with evidence?
And then coach speak happens. He gives you something like, "Oh yeah, well we're keeping an eye on that situation. It's concerning."
You're watching their groins, coach.
And then he takes another question, and then he opens it back up, and then the SID calls you again, makes a mistake. What's your follow up, Jonesy?
Coach, I appreciate that you're watching their groins, but what I want to know is, how did they get hurt?
So this
together,
as well as poisoned, we will never, ever get a press pass. It's not been suggested or requested, but it's gone now. It's over. It's over.
It's that's it.
We're gonna get just a 1-word answer back if we ever request it. Just says groins ?
Can I just say about this coach speak? Because I don't.
Boys?
Yeah, well, because Sheehan had J-Bot. Was that this week or was that last week?
Yeah, it was. It was. I believe he had a really great guest, and then like a day later, he had J-Bat.
Well, it was bad.
It's called The Hangover.
It was not good. It was not good. But I will give a lot of credit to Sheehan because he was not afraid to kind of dig into some topics and to push it and to really advocate forcefully on behalf of the span. I really appreciated the way he handled it. But
it was great.
But J-Bat, whatever the fuck, I don't care.
The Batman.
Irrelevant. Is what his response to the Central Spygate.
We didn't talk about that.
Ooh, it was fucking D bad.
Yeah. You talk about some coach speak.
No me gusta. And I will say, Sheehan, I know that you kind of had to let him off the hook there. I get it.
Yeah,
because
credit for asking.
Credit to asking, but that was bad enough where you probably could have done the like, ooh, Jay, haha, man, they definitely prepped you for that question, but you gotta do a little bit better. I mean, that's if you're gonna come as hard as you did, which I think you did great, and it was uber professional. But that was bad. That was yucky bad.
If folks haven't listened to that for some reason, who are listening to our podcast, like, do check out that interview.
Yep.
Sheehan did do a really great job.
Really good job.
Credit absolutely needs to be given where it's due.
Yep.
Yeah. And fuck you, Sheehan, also.
Yes. That's why he's the dean. Next up from Mr. Nautic Pants, are you annoyed by or no?
No, there was one more. The last one.
The defense is exempted, and Aiden Childs and the 3 other players of his choosing are exempted. What can we do to punish the Spartans? What is this?
So we have to, I guess, the defense, and then Aiden Childs, and then Aiden Childs gets to pick 3 players, but we don't get to know who they are.
And then we have to decide how to punish the team for this. I don't know what to do with this, Mr. Neurotic Pants.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and pick 3 players and punish them. It's the left tackle, the right tackle, and Eli Tautoliver. Those are my picks.
And then
what are you going to do to him?
Yeah. Tell us.
Is it going to be groinal?
Detail this for us.
Yeah, it's going to be groinal in nature. They're gonna have to ride a horse for a whole day, and then run the stairs of Spartan Stadium.
Ride a horse or a horse?
Oh, good. Or get ridden by a horse is the other thing potentially.
All right, moving on. Next up and last up is Jess Sip. Did the Little Caesars live up to the hype? Kevin Greck.
I didn't end up getting it. I just
what
saw
the fuck is wrong with you?
I know.
Okay, and I just people ask these questions and they don't appreciate. You're asking Kevin about food. The closest Kevin has come to eating a pizza is just like taking all the toppings off, rinsing the crust under the water, rolling it up, and just placing it in his mouth until it dissolves. That is the absolute closest.
Trying to consume a hot dog bun.
Utterly. Like, that's the absolute closest. So I don't know what you're talking about. It's crazy to me that you would ask the question, frankly.
Just dunk it in his cup.
Dunking it.
Balling it up and then just pop.
out of pizza, but not just for just food generally.
Just that's how I like it.
But in my mind, I could see you walking into your kitchen and literally just rinsing it under the sink.
What is this flavor? Rinse, rinse, rinse. Someone accidentally puts like pepper flakes on it. I'm just like,
Is this
oregano? Oregano.
Oregano.
All right. So Jess, we've got a follow up. Favorite Trader Joe's snack? This is a good question.
I like we like the dark chocolate peanut butter cups.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them in the freezer.
If we're talking snacks, they've got pretty good cheese puffs.
Cheese puffs, yeah. If we're talking snacks, they also have a pretty good cheese pizza, which you can run under the water in the sink.
We're out of here. Get out of here. All right, gentlemen, we are 1-0, and that's all that matters for right now. Go Green.
Cheers.
Go White.
Go White.